So the year is 1995. I'm around 9 years old, and I go to my local game pawn shop to buy a used game, and something catches my eye. Phantasy Star 2. That sounds awesome, and the cover art, it looks futuristic and sci-fi. I had to get it. So I buy the game, I go home, I can't wait to play it. I turn it on and I start playing, and the game looks great. There's like planets in the title screen, the graphics are nice and colorful. There's just one thing. There's a lot of talking. And back then, I didn't understand the concept of an RPG. Obviously, RPGs have existed for a while before Phantasy Star 2. But in my neighborhood, in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, back in the early to mid-90s, me and my friends simply didn't understand these concepts. We didn't know what RPGs were, basically. To us, a game was action. A game was something where you run or fly and shoot or fight, and sometimes race. This concept of turn-based combat mixed with a long story, with a lot of reading and a lot of plot branches, this was a completely foreign concept to us. So I simply didn't understand what this game was. I didn't know how to play it. I start off in the city, I'm walking around, the game looks great, but I don't know what to do. Okay, so I press on people and I talk to them, fine. But what now? I finally understood that I had to actually pay attention to a text and then go somewhere where they told me to. But the second I got into a fight with some monsters and it went into this turn-based combat screen, I was completely lost. I was so used to games where you run and gun or run and jump. I just didn't know what was going on. I eventually got the gist of it after about an hour of playing, but I simply didn't like it. I didn't understand how this can be a game. How is waiting for a monster to attack, then picking an attack is a game? It felt like one of those educational games we had in school once in a while, so I just wasn't into it. So cut to a few hours later, I'm hanging out with my friends, and I'm bragging about this game. But of course I hated the game because I didn't understand the concept of RPGs, and my friends asked me, what kind of game is it? And I couldn't explain it. I didn't know RPG, role-playing game. I didn't know that. Neither did they at the time. So I simply said, it's an adult game. An adult game? What? What do you mean an adult game? It's a sex game for adults. That's what I said. I mean, a game where there's a lot of serious discussion and talking. I just figured I blurred that out. And they're like, they didn't believe me. They're like, adult game on the Genesis, what? So I showed them some gameplay, and that's trying to desperately prove that it's an adult game. Like, look, there's like a picture of a sexy woman talking to me. It's an adult game for adults. Of course, my friends didn't really believe me, but because they themselves didn't know the concept of an RPG, they just had to take my word for it. They had to take my word at face value because there was no contradicting evidence. Of course, we're just goofy kids and we can't possibly keep up with the story because of how much reading there is. So I just kept going with this lie. I kept saying like, yeah, I play as this blue-haired transvestite and I'm trying to get into the pants of this purple-haired elf chick. And I have to like choose dialogue options and perform tasks so I can finally sleep with this elf whore. So I mean, in essence, I basically created the concept of the first ever Sims game. I came up with the idea of a game that's solely about social interaction. Oh, this red-headed chick? Yeah, she's a dominatrix. I kept just saying all this stuff, just blurting it out, and my friends bought it because they didn't know any better. I unequivocally proved to my entire 4th grade class that Phantasy Star 2 was in fact an adult sex game filled with dominatrixes, transvestites, and whores. I mean, this spread throughout the whole school. A few months later, my entire elementary school was buzzing about the sex game released on the Genesis. It got to the point where one of my teachers actually had to stand up in front of our class and ask us if any of us has this sex game. I mean, my tiny little white lie blossomed into a neighborhood-wide event that lasted for months. I mean, if I can dig up some local newspapers from the Brooklyn area in those days, I'm sure I will find some kind of story about some uninformed reporter talking about the dangers of sexually explicit video games. And you know that stemmed from my lie. So why did I lie about this? Why did I say it's a sex game? With one, I wanted to impress my friends. And 2, I was simply cornered. I had no idea what to say because, as I've stated, I didn't understand the concept of RPGs. I can't say it's an action game, it's not a scrolling shooter, it's obviously not a racing game. I'm at a loss for words. It's a sex game. So yeah, that's my story of the boy who cried wolf, except this time, everyone believed the boy. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.